Hello students, in this video we will be solving Mathematics Syllabus D, Paper 1 from October-November 2017, Variant 2. Question number 1. Evaluate 6 over 7 minus 3 over 5. So if we do the LCM, we will get 35, 6 5s are 30 and 3 7s are 21. So 30 minus 21, that will give us 9 over 35. Next question, evaluate 90 over 0.45. 0.45 can be written as 45 over 100. Then we can multiply 90 with the reciprocal of this fraction. So that will be 100 over 45. 45 times 2 is 90. So that will be now 2 times 100, which is 200. Question number 2. The masses in kilograms of 20 parcels sent by a dispatch center are given in the table. So we have 20 values over here. We need to find the frequency of the numbers between 3 and 5 inclusive. So there are 7 numbers between 3 and 5 inclusive. These are the tally marks. And there are 8 numbers between 5 and 7. And there are 5 numbers between 7 and 9 inclusive. Next question. The results are to be shown in a pie chart. Calculate the angle of the sector representing the group with the smallest frequency. So, a frequency of 5 represents the smallest group. We need to find the angle. So, since we have 20 numbers in this table, so 360 degree must be representing the number 20 and the angle which is unknown representing 5. So x will be 5 times 360 over 20. So that will be 2 times 18 is 36. That means 20 times 18 is 360. 5 times 18 will give us 90. So 90 degree is the angle which will be representing the smallest group. Question number 3. Y is inversely proportional to x given that y is equals to 1 over 6 when x is equals to 30. Find y when x is equals to 10. Since y is inversely proportional to x, we can write it as y is equals to k over x. And it's given when y is 1 over 6, x is 30. So k will be 1 over 6 times 30. Therefore, k will be equal to 5. Now we can rewrite the equation as y is equals to 5 over x. We need to find the value of y when x is 10. So y is equals to 5 over 10. Therefore, y is equals to half. Question number 4. It's given that f of x is equals to x over 4. We need to find f of half. So that will be half over 4, or we can multiply half with the reciprocal of 4, which is 1 over 4. That will give us 1 over 8. Then we need to find the inverse of the function f. So if we consider y is equals to x over 4, then making x the subject will give us 4 over y. So therefore, f inverse of x is 4x. Question number 5. The timetable for buses from A to E calling at B, C and D is given below. So these are the times. So the first time for A is 8:12. 30 minutes later it will call again at 8:42, and then every 30 minutes until it's 17:12. The question says how many minutes does each journey from A to E take? You can find the difference between these two times of E and A, or these two times, or these two times. They will give you the same result, but I'm gonna choose this one because it's in 24-hour format. So it is 1820 minus 1712, which will give us 1 hour 8 minutes. But since we need to answer in minutes, so I need to convert 1 hour into minutes, which is 60. So 60 plus 8 should give me 68 minutes. Then it says Sharon has an appointment at D at 3:30 p.m. What is the latest time she can catch a bus from B? B starts calling at 8:33. Then it calls after every half an hour. So then it will be 9:03, then 9:33. So I kept on adding 30 minutes just for explanation reasons. Eventually, I went up to 14:33, 15:03, and 15:33. In order to reach at 3:30 p.m. for the appointment, the latest time she can catch a bus should be 2:33, because if she catches the bus at 15:03, that means she will reach at 15:33, which is 3:33, and she won't be able to reach on time. Hence, it is wise that she catches the bus at 14:33. Question number 6. The diagram shows a scale from 3.8 to 3.9 divided into 5 equal parts. What is the value at the mark labeled P? So first we need to figure out what is the gap between each of these lines. So there are in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 3.8 there are 5 lines. So, and the total gap is 0.1, and there are 5 gaps in between. So 0.1 from 3.8 to 3.9 is 0.1. So 0.1 over 5, or I can rewrite it as 1 over 10 over 5. Then I can simply multiply this number 1 over 10 with the reciprocal of this number. So that will give us 1 over 10 times 1 over 5, which is 1 over 50. If I multiply both of these numbers by 2, I will get 2 over 100. So in decimals, it should be 0.02. Now, in order to reach this point, each of this gap is 0.02. So that means it will be 3.8 plus 0.02 plus 0.02, which is 3.84. Next, we have the points x and y lie on the line AB such that AX is to XY is to YB is equals to 3 is to 2 is to 4. We need to find XY. If the total is 18, what is XY? So the total of the ratios is 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9. And XY represents the ratio 2. So the length should be 2 over 9 times the total length, which is 18. 9 2s are 18, so that will now be 2 times 2, which is 4. So the length of XY should be 4 centimeters. Question number 7. In the diagram, ABC is parallel to DEFG. BC is equals to BE, ACE is equal to 35 degree, and angle BFG is equal to 102 degrees. We need to find the angle CBF. So if this is 102 and this is a straight line, that means this should be 180 minus 102, which is 78. And since these two lines, the horizontal lines, are parallel, therefore, if this is 78, this angle should also be 78 because they are alternate. Hence, CBF is 78 degrees. Then we need to find the angle ABE. For this, if we consider the triangle EBC, we can see that it's given that BC, the line BC and the line BE are equal. So that means the triangle EBC is an isosceles triangle. Therefore, if this is 35 degree, this should also be 35 degree because they are the opposite angles of the equal sides. And we know by now that this is 78. So first we need to figure out what is this angle. So I'm considering the unknown to be x. So 35 plus 78 plus x is 180, because that is the total value of all the angles in a triangle. So that will give us now 148 plus x equals to 180. So x should be 180 minus 148, which is 32. That means this angle is 32. Now, in order to find this angle, what we can do, since this line is a straight line, so the angle in a straight line is 180. We have already found this one is 78 and we just found this is 32. So 180 minus 32 plus 78, which is 180 minus 110. So that will give us 70 degree. Question number 8. 30 students were asked on how many days they ate pasta last week. The results are given in the table. We first need to find the mode. Since 0 has the most frequency, that means this should be the mode. Then we need to find the median. To find the median, we need to first understand where the median lies. There are 30 students. So the median will lie at 30 plus 1 over 2, which is 31 over 2. So it will be 15.5. That means the median lies between 15th and the 16th value. So if we add the frequencies, 9 plus 6 is 15. So the 15th value is 1. And of course, the 16th value will be 2. Hence, the median is 1 plus 2 over 2, which is 1.5. Question number 9. The area of a rectangle is given as 8 centimeter square. Correct to the nearest centimeter square, which is 1 centimeter square. Write down the lower bound for the area of the rectangle. Since nearest centimeter square means 1 centimeter square, first we need to find what will be the correction. So we need to divide 1 by 2, and that will give us, of course, 0.5. So in order to find the lower bound, we need to subtract it from this value. So 8 minus 0.5 is 7.5. So 7.5 is the area as the lower bound. Then it says the width of the rectangle is given as 2 centimeter. Correct to the nearest centimeter. Calculate the lower bound for the length of the rectangle. So for this, first we need to understand what is the formula of a rectangle when we are required to find the area. So area is length times breadth. So in order to find the lower bound of the length, we need to make length the subject of the formula. So length will therefore be area over the breadth. And in order to find the lower bound of the length, we must have the lower bound of the area and the upper bound of the breadth. So we already found the lower bound of the area, which is 7.5. And the upper bound of the breadth will be 2 plus 0.5, because this one is also corrected to the nearest 1 centimeter. So 2 plus 0.5 will give us 2.5. Therefore, the length is 7.5 over 2.5, which is 3. And 3 is the lower bound for the length. Question number 10. By making suitable approximations, calculate an estimate for 40.32 times square root of 35.7 over 2980. Show clearly the approximations you use and give your answer correct to one significant figure. So if we correct 40.32 to one significant figure, we need to look into the second value. Since the second value is less than 5, then the first value will remain unchanged. So this will just be 40. For 35.7, we need to look into the second value, which is 5. And since it's 5, Okay, sorry. So we are not actually correcting these values to one significant figure. We need to do suitable approximations. And then we need to give our answer into one significant figure. So to estimate this one, the suitable approximation could be 40, and 35.7 I can consider that as 36, and 2980 I'm considering that as 3000. So that will give me 40 times square root of 36 is 6, and 3000 remains as 3000, of course, and 40 times 6 is 240. So this will be 240 over 3000. If I simplify it, it will be 24 over 300. And I can simplify it further by dividing both the numbers by 6. It will be 6 fours are 24 and 6 50s are 300. If I multiply both of these numbers by 2, then this will become 8 over 100. So in decimals, it will be 0.08. Question number 11. The mean age of Ali, Ben, and Chris is 14 years and 3 months. Dai's age is 15 years and 3 months. Calculate the mean age of the 4 people. So, I'm considering Ali, Ben, and Chris as A, B, C. So, first, let's convert years and months into months only. So 14 years is basically 14 times 12 months, which will give us 168. So it's 168 months. So the mean age should be 168 months plus 3 months, which is 171. So this will be A plus B plus C over the number of people, which is 3, and the mean will therefore be 171. If I multiply 171 with 3, I will get 513. So their ages together in months is 513. Now let's convert 15 years into months. So 15 times 12 will give us 180, plus 3 months will give us 183. So now if I add A plus B plus C plus D, that will give us 513 months plus Dai's age, which is 183 months. Combined, if I combine their age in months, that will be 696. So their mean age should be A plus B plus C plus D over 4, which is 696 over 4. If I do the division, I will get 174, and that is months. So now I need to convert this into years because the answer says how many years and months. So if I divide 174 by 12, I will get 14 6 over 12, which is equal to 14 and half. So that means it will be 14 years, and half year means 6 months. Question number 12. It's given that a to the power x is 5. It says find a to the power 2x. I can rewrite this question as a to the power x within brackets and power of 2 outside. And we know that a to the power x is 5. So I can write it as 5 square. 5 square is 25. Then it says find a to the power minus x. I can rewrite it as 1 over a to the power x, or I can say 1 over 5. If I multiply both the numbers by 2, I will get 2 over 10. So it will be 0.2. Question number 13. It says the distribution of the lengths of time spent on the internet on a Monday by each member of a group of students is given in the table. The histogram represents some of this information. So when we are provided with a histogram, we first need to look at the y-axis, and we can see that it's not frequency on the y-axis, it's frequency density. So that means, of course, the class widths were unequal, hence they had to make the frequency density on the y-axis. The first question says find k. So if we look into the table, k is over here. So basically we need to find the frequency for the class width between 10 to 30. And in a frequency density histogram, the frequency is the area of the bar. So the area of the bar, the width is 30 minus 10, which is 20, and the height of the bar is 2. So that will be 2 times 20, which is 40. So the value of k is 40. Then it says complete the histogram. So we need to draw these parts. But for that, we first need to find the frequency density. Frequency density is frequency over class width. So we have 30 and the class width is 10. So 30 over 10 is 3. So the height of the bar between 40 to 50 should be 3. Then we have frequency of 30 and the class width is 80 minus 50, which is 30. So 30 over 30 is 1. So the frequency density will be 1 for the class width of 50 to 80. Question number 14. Find the two solutions of x by 3 minus 1 less than 3x by 4, which are negative integers. So x minus 3 over 3 less than 3x over 4 can be written as, if we cross multiply, this will be 4 times x minus 3 within brackets less than 3 times 3x is 9x. If we expand the bracket, this will be 4x minus 12 less than 9x, or I can write it as 4x minus 9x less than 12, which is minus 5x less than 12. If I multiply both sides by negative 1, then I will get 5x greater than minus 12. Since we have multiplied with negative 1 on both sides, the sign of the inequality will flip. So now it will be x is greater than minus 12 over 5. If I multiply both of these numbers by 2, I will get 24 over 10. So x is greater than negative 2.4. Since the question stated which are the negative integers, so if I draw a number line just for explanation, you can see that minus 2.4 must lie over here somewhere between minus 2 and 3, of course. So that means the negative integers are after negative 2.4 because x is greater than negative 2.4. So that will be minus 2 and minus 1. Question number 15. The diagram shows a figure made from 5 identical triangles. The figure has a rotational symmetry. Write down the order of the rotational symmetry. Since there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, and it has been formed with 5 identical triangles, the rotational symmetry should be 5. It also says in the next question, each marked angle, these angles which are marked, is 110 degree. Find the angles of one of the triangles. So basically, we need to find the angles of the triangle. So if we start by looking at this angle, this is the easiest one to find out. We know that the angle at a center over here at a point is 360. And since there are 5 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we simply can divide 360 by 5 and we will get 72. So this angle is 72. Then, since the question already stated that the marked angle is 110 and this is a straight line, so this should be 110 minus 180 minus 110, which will give us 70. So this angle can be found by either you subtract these two angles from 180 and you will get 38. Or you can think of it as this angle plus this angle. If you consider this to be x, then 72 plus x is also 110, because exterior angle is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. So 72 plus x is also 110. So x will be 110 minus 72. So x is therefore 38. So the angles are 72, 70 and 38. Question number 16. Write the number 360 million in standard form. So in a million, there are 6 zeros. So to convert this into standard form, we need to count how many digits are there after the number 3. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this should be 3.6 times 10 to the power 8. Then it says, expressing each answer in standard form, find p times q. And we are provided with the values of p and q. So p times q should be 5 times 10 to the power 9 times 9 times 10 to the power negative 16. Then it becomes 5 times 9 is 45. And since these two numbers are the same, we can add these powers. So it will be 10 to the power 9 plus minus 16. So which will give us minus 7. So in order to convert this into standard form, we need to bring the decimal from this side to the one digit before. So that will be 4.5 times 10 to the power minus 6. And how this happened, this is the explanation. 45 times 10 to the power minus 7 can also be written as 4.5 times 10. 4.5 times 10 is the same as 45. Then times 10 to the power minus 7. So if we add these two powers, it will be 1 minus 7. So that will give us 10 to the power minus 6. Then we need to do the square root of q. Q is 9 times 10 to the power minus 16. Square root is basically a power of half. So we need to put the value of q within brackets and have the power as half over here. So if we take away the brackets, this will be 9 to the power half times 10 to the power minus 16 times half. 9 to the power half is 3, and 10 to the power minus 16 times half will give us minus 8. So since we just did a square root, this will be plus minus 3 times 10 to the power negative 8. Question number 17. Find 110% of 70. So that means 70 times 110 over 100. If we simplify it, it will be 7 times 11, which is 77. Then it says, when new, a car was worth $15,000. After 1 year, it was worth $12,000. Calculate the percentage reduction in its value. So this will be, in order to find the percentage reduction, it will be old price minus new price over the old price. So that will be 3,000 over 15,000. If we simplify it, it will be 1 over 5 times 100, and 5 times 20 is 100. So that is 20%. Question number 18. An open rectangular tray has inside measurements length 11, width 6 and height 5 cm. We need to calculate the total surface area of the 4 sides and base of the inside of the tray. And it's also written in bold characters that it's an open rectangular tray. That means in order to find the total surface area, we just have to find the areas of 5 sides, excluding the top, because it's open. So we have, if we consider this face, we have a similar face on the other side over here. So the width is 6 and the height is 2. The height is 5. So 2 times 6 times 5 plus we have 5 and 11 on the front and a similar area behind. So we can double the area. So that will be 2 times 5 times 11 plus the area of the base, which is 11 times 6. And that will give us 60 plus 110 plus 66, which is 236. Next question. Cubes are placed in the tray and a lead is placed on top. Each cube has an edge of 2 centimeter. And since it's a cube, that means the length, the width, and the height are the same. It says find the maximum number of cubes that can be placed in the tray. So, along the length, it was 11 centimeter. So, if we divide it by 2, because 2 is one of the edge of the cube, I will get 5.5. That means we can place 5 complete cubes along the length. Along this side, I can place 5 complete cubes. Along the width, I can just again divide the 6 over 2, which will give us 3. So I can fit complete 3 cubes along the width. And along the height is 5. So 5 over 2 is 2.5. That means we can place 2 complete cubes along the height. So these are the complete numbers. So that will be 5 times 3 times 2. We can place 30 complete cubes in the tray. Question number 19. Each time an archer fires an arrow, the probability that she hits the target is 0.7. She fires 2 arrows. Complete the tree diagram. So it was given that the probability of hitting is 0.7. That means the probability to miss is 0.3. It was also given the probability of the second arrow to hit is 0.7. Therefore, it will be 0.3 as the probability of miss. And the same will be there for hitting and missing over here. Because that is what the question has already stated, that she hits the target and the probability of hitting is 0.7. Then it says, find the probability that she hits the target twice. So we need to find the probability of hitting and hitting. So that will be 0.7 times 0.7. So 7 sevens are 49, and we need to place the decimal 2 digits before. That will be 0.49, of course. So next question, it says she hits the target exactly once. So that can be found by finding the probability of first she hits and then she misses, or she misses at first and then she hits. So the probability of hitting at first is 0.7 and then missing it is 0.3. Or the probability of missing it at first is 0.3 and hitting it with the second arrow is 0.7. That means it will be 0.73 times 0.73 plus 0.3 times 0.7. So that will give us 0.21 plus 0.21, which is 0.42. Question number 20. The coordinates of P and M are -3, 10, and 0, 4. Find the gradient of the line PM. So we simply need to use the formula to find the gradient will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm considering this to be y2. So this will be 4 minus 10 over 0 minus -3, which will give us -6 over 3, and that is -2. Then it says find the equation of the line PM. So for this, we are using the formula y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. And we have already found the gradient of the line PM, which is -2. And I'm taking the coordinate 0, 4. to find the equation of the line. So it will be y minus 4 equals minus 2 within brackets x minus 0. So that will give us y minus 4 is equal to minus 2x. Therefore, y is equals to minus 2x plus 4. And that will be the equation of the line PM. Then it says M is the midpoint of PQ. Find the coordinates of Q. We already know the coordinate of M, which is 0, 4. And that is the midpoint of the line PQ. So in order to find the coordinate of Q, what we can do, the x coordinate, let the coordinates of Q will be x and y. So minus 3 is the coordinate of P. So minus 3 plus the x coordinate of Q over 2 is 0. 0 is the x coordinate of M. That will give us minus 3 plus x equals to 0. So therefore, x will be 3. 10 is the x coordinate of P plus the y coordinate of Q over 2 is equal to the x coordinate of the y coordinate of Q. Sorry, the y coordinate of M. So 10 plus y is equals to 8. So y will be 8 minus 10. Therefore, y is equals to negative 2. So the coordinates of Q is 3 and minus 2. Question number 21. Express this matrix as a single matrix. So if we simply multiply 3 with all the elements inside, we will get 9, 3, minus 15 and minus 12. If we multiply 2 with all the numbers inside, will be 2, minus 6, 0 and 4. So if we simply subtract, we will get 7, 9 and minus 15 and minus 16. Then it says, find the inverse of 3, minus 5, 1, minus 4. So for this, we are using the formula 1 over AD minus BC, where A is 3 and D is minus 4. So AD will be 3 times minus 4 is minus 12. AD minus BC. So BC is, this is B and this is C. So minus 5 into 1 is minus 5. And since the formula says AD minus BC, so double negative will make this positive. So this will be minus 12 plus 5. And over here, what will happen? These two numbers will switch. So minus 4 will be over here and 3 will be over here. And the signs of these two numbers will change. So positive 1 will become negative 1 and negative 5 will become positive 5. So after that, we just simplify and this will become 1 over negative 7 and this will be minus 4, 5, minus 1, 3. If we multiply this fraction with all the numbers inside, we will get positive 4 over 7, minus 5 over 7, positive 1 over 7 and minus 3 over 7. Question number 22. Factorize 9a square minus 6a. So if we take 3a common from both of these, we will get 3a minus 2 within brackets. And to factorize 4 minus 25t square, we can clearly see that these two are square numbers. So we can rewrite the question as 2 whole square minus 5t whole square. So now we need to consider the formula, which is a square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. So 2 whole square minus 5t whole square is 2 plus 5t and 2 minus 5t. Then it says factorize 6cd minus xy plus 2cx minus 3dy. So if we rewrite this equation by rearranging them, I can write it as 6cd plus 2cx minus 3dy minus xy. If I take 2c common from both of these numbers, I will get 3d plus x within brackets. And if I take minus y common from both of these, I will get again 3d plus x within brackets. So the factorization will be 2c minus y and 3d plus x. Question number 23. We are provided with this diagram. It says the diagram shows the triangle ABC. Measure the angle ABC. So we had to measure this angle. So in order to measure it, you need to use the protractor and you will get this angle to be 98 degrees. Then it says on the diagram, construct the perpendicular bisector of AB. So this line is the perpendicular bisector of the line AB. Then it says on the diagram, construct the locus of the points that are 5 cm from C. So for that, we need to draw a circle by considering C to be the center, and the radius will be 5 cm. Doing that, we will be forming this circle. Then it says the points P and Q lie on the perpendicular bisector of AB, which we have already done in part B, the perpendicular bisector, and are 5 cm from C. Mark and label the points P and Q on the diagram and measure P and Q. So, if you look closely, then the points P and Q lie on the perpendicular bisector and also they are 5 cm from C. So this is the perpendicular bisector and these 2 points satisfies both of the statement. These 2 points are on the perpendicular bisector. Also, it is 5 cm away from C. So this should be P and Q. And if we measure it with a scale, we will get PQ to be 4.7 cm. Question number 24. The diagram is the speed time graph of part of a train's journey. Calculate the speed when t is equals to 5. 5 must lie right in the middle over here. Between 0 to 10, 5 lies right at the center. And since the deceleration was constant, that means of course the gradient is the same throughout this line. We simply need to figure out what is the difference between 30 and 12, which is 18. That means at 5 seconds, it will be right in the middle of over here. So it will be 18 divided by 2, which gives us 9. That means it will be 9 units above 12, so which is 21. So that means at 5 seconds, the speed was over here, which is 21. Next question, calculate the acceleration. The acceleration portion lies over here. From the time 40 seconds to 60 seconds, the train accelerated. And we need to find the value of acceleration, of course. So acceleration is the gradient in a speed time graph. So the gradient is again y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that will be 30 minus 12 over 60 minus 40, which is 18 over 20. If I divide both the numbers by 2, I will get 9 over 10. So it will be 0.9 meter per square seconds. Next it says, find the distance traveled from time 40 to time 60. So we need to basically find the area below this line, because in a speed time graph, the area under the graph represents the distance traveled. And we can see that this is in the shape of a trapezium. So it will be half times the length of the parallel sides is 12 and 30, and the difference between the parallel sides is 20. As you can see, 60 minus 40 is 20, and this length is 12 and this length is 30. So that will give us 42 times 10, which is 420. Question number 25. In the diagram, the equation of the line AC is 7x plus 5y, which is equals to 35. Write down the three inequalities that define this region inside triangle ABC. So we need to define this region. As we can see that for this equation, 5y is positive. And since the inside region lies above the line 7x plus 5y equals 35, we can say this region has the inequality 7x plus 5y greater than 35. And we can then consider the line x equals to 4, and the inequality that represents the region inside the triangle is x less than 4. And the last equation that we can use will be y equals to 5, and this region is represented by the inequality y less than 5. Then it says the line y equals to kx, where k is an integer, passes through triangle ABC. Find the greatest possible value of x. Find the greatest possible value of k. So, as you can understand that k in this equation, of course, represents the gradient. I have drawn the situation again for the graph that they have provided earlier. So this is the line y equals to 5, this is the line x equals to 4, and this is the line which is 7x plus 5y is equals to 35. Since it says that we need to draw the line y equals to kx, which passes through the triangle ABC, and in order to have the greatest possible value of k, that means we have to sketch a line with the highest gradient, and the higher the gradient, the steeper the line. So I'm considering this line to be y is equals to kx. Now, if we try to put the value 5 in the equation of 7x plus 5y equals to 35, so we are trying to find this point. So when y is 5, 7x plus 25 is equals to 35, 7x is equals to 10, so x will be 10 over 7. So the coordinate of x at this point is 10 over 7. Now, I'm considering a different equation, y equals to ax, and if I put the value of y again as 5 and the value of x as 10 over 7, which we just found, to see what happens if a line is drawn from the origin till this point, I will get a to be 35 over 10, so a is 3.5. So if I draw a line from origin to this point, then the line will have a gradient of 3.5. But for k, the k is stated as an integer. So the greatest possible value of k can be 3, which will of course be slightly less steeper than a, because y equals to ax is more steeper compared to y equals to kx. So k will be 3. Question number 26. The sequence of diagrams shows patterns made from some black beads and some white beads. Each diagram has 2 rows more than the previous diagram. Complete the table for diagram 5. So we just need to complete the table. If you look closely in the table, you can see that the number of beads is increasing by square numbers. So this one is 3 square, then we have 4 square, then we have 5 square, then we have 6 square. So this will definitely be 7 square, which is 49. And for the number of white beads, it is increasing by the number 3. So this is 7 plus 3, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 3, 16, and 16 plus 3 should be 19. And the number of black beads is increasing in the form of 2, the gap is 4, then the gap is 8, between 2 and 6 the gap is 4, between 6 and 12 the gap is 6, between 12 and 20 the gap is 8. So the gap between 20 and the next number should be 10. So that should be then 20 plus 10, which is 30. So the gaps were 4, 6, 8 and 10. That's how we managed to find all these values. Next it says, write down an expression in terms of n for the number of white beads in diagram n. So when we are asked to consider the number of white beads, you can see that the numbers are increasing in arithmetic progression format. So we can use the formula a plus n minus 1 times d, where a is the first term, and the first term over here is 7. Then we have n minus 1, and the common difference between these numbers is 3. So simplifying it will give us 7 plus 3n minus 3, which is 3n plus 4. So the expression in terms of n is 3n plus 4. Then it says the total number of beads in diagram n. So for that, it will be n plus 2 whole square. Let's put this to the test. N means the diagram number over here. So 1 plus 2, which is 3. If we square it, we get 9. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 square is 16. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 square is 25. That's why it is n plus 2 whole square. Then it says, find an expression in terms of n for the number of black beads in diagram n. Give your answer in its simplest form. If we look into the table, the number of black beads, there is a, of course, relation how to find the number of black beads. You can see that 9 minus 7 is 2, 16 minus 10 is 6, 49 minus 19 is 30. So we have already found in terms of n the expressions for the number of white beads is 3n plus 4, and the total number of beads is n plus 2 whole square. So if we take away the number of white beads from the total number of beads, we will get the expression for the number of black beads. So that will be n plus 2 whole square minus 3n plus 4. If we expand it, we will get n square plus 4n plus 4 minus 3n, minus plus will give us minus 4. So this will become then n square plus n, and if we take n common from both of them, we will have n plus 1 within brackets. Question number 27. In the diagram, OP is equal to minus 3, 4 and PQ is 2, 0. We need to find the modulus of OP plus the modulus of PQ. So that means we just need to square root these column vectors. That will be minus 3 square plus 4 square plus the square root of 2 square plus 0 square. Minus 3 whole square is positive 9 plus 4 square is 16. So 9 plus 16 will give us 25, and the square root of 25 is 5. And this will just be 2. So 5 plus 2 is 7. Then it says T is the point where PT is equals to KPQ. Express OT as a column vector in terms of K. We can write the vector OT as OP plus PT, where OP is minus 3, 4 and PT is KPQ. So PQ was 2, 0, so this will be K 2, 0. So the answer should be minus 3 plus 2K and 4, or I can rewrite it as 2K minus 3 by 4, and that is the column vector in terms of K for OT. Then it says M is the point such that OT and M lie on a straight line and OM is equal to 24, 16. Find the value of K. So, since OTM lie on a straight line, I can write it as OT is equals to XOM, where X is a constant, and we already managed to find the value of OT, which is 2K minus 3 and 4, and X, and we know the value of OM, which is 24, 16. So this means that 2K minus 3 should be equal to 24x and 4 should be equal to 16x. So x will be 4 over 16. That means x is 1 over 4. And now we can say 2k minus 3 is equal to 24. Instead of x, we can substitute the value of x, which is 1 over 4. So this will be 2k minus 3 equals to 6. That will give us 2k is equals to 9. So k is 4.5. And that will be all for now. I will see you in the next video.